Hello, so in this video we are going to solve a new problem, that is bar chart. So in this problem we have been given a number n that is representing the size of array A, and then we will be given n array elements. Okay, then we have to print a bar chart that is where every bar is representing the value of array. So like here, let's see the sample input and output. So here we have been given an array of size 5 and the elements are 31075. So there is a first bar is representing the value 3 because it has 3 asterisks. Now the second value is 1. So the second bar is representing the second value. And the third bar is representing the third value. And the fourth bar is representing the fourth value because it has 7 asterisks. Similarly, the fifth bar is representing the fifth value, that is 5. So let's see that how we are going to solve this problem, or the approach we can say. So we are taking another example. Let's say we are having an array which consists of 5 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it is an array of size 5. Okay, so we can consider these array elements as buildings. Okay, so let's say these are some buildings, and this one is the height of building 1, 2 is height of building 2, 3 is height of building 3, 4 is height of building 4 and 5 is height of building 5. Okay, so now we have to let's say we have to construct these buildings. Okay, so the top floor means the top floor would be the fifth floor, because out of all these values the maximum value is 5. So if we say that we are going to construct all these buildings, so the top floor would be 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. So these rows are representing, so actually we are going to make a grid. So in that grid these rows are representing the floors of building, and similarly if we say the column thing, so there will be 5 buildings, building 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So these values are basically the buildings. Okay, now what we are going to do, we will pick a floor here. Let's say first we pick the fifth floor. Now we will check for all the buildings whether this floor could be constructed in a particular building or not. If that floor could be constructed in the particular building, then we are going to print a star there, otherwise we are going to print a space here. So the height of first building is 1. So the first building could not have this fifth floor, so here we are going to print a space. Similarly, in the second building we are going to print a space because height of second building is 2, and in the third building the height of building is 3, so we are going to print a space there also. In the fourth building we are going to print a space, and in the fifth building the fifth floor could be constructed because the height of fifth building is 5 here. Okay, so here we are going to print a star. Now we are going to pick the fourth floor. The height of first building is 1, so fourth floor could not be constructed in the first building. Similarly, second and third would be printed space, but in the fourth building here fourth floor could be constructed, so here we are going to print a star. And in the fifth floor also we are going to print a star, because if the fifth floor could be constructed then obviously fourth floor is going to be there. Now we are going to pick the third floor. The third floor could not be constructed in first and second building, but it could be constructed in third, fourth and fifth building. Now the second floor, it could not be constructed in the first building, but it could be constructed in every other building. Now the first floor, it could be constructed in all the buildings because the minimum height is 1. Means one height is possible in every building. Okay, so what would be our approach that we are going to follow here? So the first step would be, that's it, approach right there. So the first step would be, we have to find the maximum of array elements. Why? Because we need to find the number of floors, means the top floor. So for the top floor, we need to find the maximum of all these array elements. So our first step would be we need to find the maximum of array, and in the second step, we will pick a particular floor, and then for that particular floor, we will check all the buildings. Ag- and if that floor could be constructed in that particular building, then we are going to print a star, otherwise we are going to print a space there. So now let's code it, guys. So we are going to code in Python here. So firstly, we have taken the input of n variable, and the Python takes the input in the string form, so we need to convert it into an integer. So that's why we use this int function. Now we need to make an array. So for this, we are going to use Python list, and okay. Now we have to take the input of n variables. So we are going to run our for loop till n. Now we will take this input in this val variable, uh, like this, and we will append this variable in our array like this. Now also we can find the maximum of array here only. So for the maximum, let's say we are going to name our variable max. So we are going to say here, if max is greater than if val is greater than max, then we are going to update our max with val. So here we have calculated the first step, that is maximum of array. Okay, so our first step is done. Also, we need to use colon here. Okay, so the Python syntax is different from C++ and Java, so you need to take care of that. Now, the second step was for the particular flow, we need to check all the buildings. Okay, so for that, firstly, we need to run a for loop from max till the first floor, means the top from the top floor till the first floor. So for that we are going to use I loop that will go till max plus 1, because this range, it will give us values from I to max minus, means it will give us value to max minus 1. So we are but we need values till max, so that's why we are writing here max plus 1. Okay, also we need to run this loop in the reverse order, so that's why we are going to use this reverse function. Now for this particular flow, we need to check for every building. So for that we are going to run our j loop till n. Now we will check if the height of particular building, now we are at j loop is running for the buildings and I loop is running for the floors. Now if height of current building is greater than equals to I, means if this floor is less than equals to the height of current building, so means this floor could be constructed. So that's why we are going to print a asterisk here. And in the Python, the print function will shift to the new line after printing whatever it is going to print. So that's why we are going to use this parameter here, and that will avoid this situation, that it will not shift to the new line. In the else condition, we have to print a space. Okay, now after printing a particular floor, means after working with a particular floor, we need to change the line. So for that we are going to use a blank print function to shift to the new line. Okay, okay, so the problem was that we haven't given this parameter here. It is going to shift to the new line. So now let's run this code. So our code has been accepted. Now let's try to submit this code. I hope all the test cases, yeah, all the test cases got passed, and I hope you got this concept, and thank you for watching this video.